All right, so welcome in everyone. Tim and I were just talking before we started the recording about where we had kind of left off last time. It's been a while since we actually had a moment to work on the reimagining of Contentlayer with like the newest effect. But I think the last time we met, Tim and I were talking about how we were working on the source models, plugins, and then we started working on computed fields. And I think we actually got computed fields working. Um, but maybe we could take a look at where we left off the last
Yeah.
time, and then we can go from there.
Maybe
So
if we just run it, see what happens.
yeah, one of the things I wanted to check if we did the last time. So I know we were working on computed fields. I'm pretty sure we got them working, but one of the things I wanted to check was are we properly processing the computed fields in like, because um the groups of computed fields are supposed to be each field in a group is processed concurrently, can be processed concurrently, and then each group has to be processed sequentially. I think we did that. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I remember we went into that in quite a bit of detail. So this is the document builder service, which takes the document source, takes every output from the source, and then builds the document from it. So looks like it pipes the fields through the schema resolve computed fields. Yeah, so for every group, it does it concurrently.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, looks good.
Cool.
Well, so we have resolve documents,
And I remember
and
also,
these
I remember
fields have
we had,
been
I remember
passed
we
from the
also
schema.
had like the watcher was working, I think, as well. Like when we would edit a document,
Yeah,
forget document config, but I
we
remember
go.
yeah.
What can we edit that we can see? Maybe if we just remove. That's interesting. That type is incorrect. It should be the actual non-schema types. Let's double check that. So that will be in the document module. Resolve gets fields.
I wonder if we modified what fields looks like in the parent type, it would be coming down from the document.
Yeah, so if we document,
Yeah, the fields is the schema type.
okay. Is that what we want? Fields, yep. Okay. So if we go to resolve fields, this should be schema.struct.type.
I think so. I think we're
Yes.
gonna have to pass it all the generic extension all the way down. Because I think like in the generic of computed fields is not extending.
I think we're
In
running
the
into a version conflict problem.
oh yeah, because wait, did you update effect to you updated effect to latest, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're using effect schema from effect, right?
I think I already did that migration.
Oh, okay.
Mm, okay. Maybe I'll just get rid of no modules.
Nothing like a good old RM-RF node modules.
Yeah.
Blown away.
What do we got here now? Any document.
If you look at in the document, in the computed fields, what are we actually passing into the computed fields inside the document? So the
We got
the coming in
source.
should be the struct,
Yeah.
and then what goes into the computed fields there at the bottom?
Fields.
What are we actually passing in there?
So it doesn't have any constraint there. So we go computed field, add computed field, fields. Where's the type for add computed field?
I think the type
Here it
gets
is.
propagated. Okay.
Computed field schemas. Exclude duplicates. I think here we just need to go. Oh, wait a minute, no, that's not right.
Range that this like broke.
Exclude duplicate. Hmm. Where am I taking my mouse?
Long story. That was Mike getting frustrated with my NeoVim setup.
Right. Oh, that type checks.
That
And
must
now
mean it
here we
works.
we can do schema.struct.type. Yeah. Okay.
Did we fix it?
Build.
Okay.
We could
We simplify it.
simplify that. Yeah.
I thought I simplify it elsewhere, but I think
Simplify from effect types.
you may want to somewhere else in this in the somewhere else in the document file I use simplify,
Mm.
but I think I use schema.simplify. You may want to
All
just
right.
use one or the other.
Have a look in a bit. That's better. Whoop.
Can you validate the exclude duplicates logic as well, just to make sure that's still working? Like if we change slug2 to slug, we still get the nice. Well, that's not
You mean
exactly.
over here?
Yeah, sorry. Nice. Okay,
I
good.
hate my mouse. We
I
changed
hate my mouth.
it. Maybe we should change that.
I don't know. It seems pretty descriptive to me.
Hate. Again, duplicate.
This was actually an interesting case. I'm pretty sure because I'm doing name extends key of fields end string. I'm pretty sure I can't interpolate it. Oh, it's letting you do it now? I remember not being able to do that before. Okay, great.
Well, that worked. So there's another simplified here.
Somewhere. There it is. Thank you. Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. Okay. It seems like the other simplifier doesn't reserve the type. So we'll just use the schema one.
Yeah.
That duplicate field slug, great. And that looks good. What else does resolve get?
The only other thing you may want to test here is
The output.
change the type of the just test the if you like effect.succeed with like a number or something. Just check to see if
Fix with a number.
yeah, should get a type error here.
Yeah.
Yes. Great.
Okay.
Cool.
So computer fields work. Fields work. Source is working. Is the output what we expect? Let's have a look. We don't have a body.
Or
We go content layer config,
would body be
and we just go body.
is body something that you
There
foresee
you
that the user attaching to their input schema if they want it for a markdown document or something? Or do you foresee the source? Like, do you foresee us like specifying document types in the source? You know what I mean? Because basically, um, I'm trying to think like if you let's say like have a file system source that's pulling markdown and MDX documents, probably
go.
one of the more common use cases. Um, should that be something that the source plugin handles, like gets you like the body and other stuff about the markdown document? Or is that a field that the user has to put into their schema? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think it's a field. It's just another field like everything else.
Okay. Works for me.
In this case, our body is HTML already, which means our no, because we got retype. And rehype turns markdown into HTML. Is that what we want? If we just use normal remark, we get the body with the front meta. Kind of want the front meta stripped out at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
Remark, remove front meta.
So
I'm
the
just doing
body
some
is
Googling.
the body is just an ephemeral property that like you can put into your schema if you have a document type that supports it. Like I guess how does
Yeah,
a
so in
user
this
know?
case, the remark plugin adds the body field.
But if you don't specify it as a schema field, it won't come out, right?
So currently the file system source just provides that content APIs or implements them. And then it's up to the plugins whether they use these or not.
So if a user wanted like the raw content from
Yeah.
they could do that in the resolve of like a computed field, for example, or
So if we go to source plugin, currently it accesses the content of the document and then processes it and then adds the fields.
um so let's say that I'm working on my content layer config then. And as part of the output, I also want access to like the raw document body.
Um, whoops. Tab B. So here you can access the raw content if you want, or you can do that, but it isn't type safe. What do we got here? Output has file system emitter and the unified output in it.
Because I guess the only like downside right now with like the body situation is that the user just kind of has to know that the body's available with this source, right?
Mm.
And has to add it to their schema. So like for example, if we have a source like you were mentioning before we start the stream where the document in question doesn't support a body,
Yeah.
I guess the user would have to, like in the current design, the user would have to know that.
Well, it's quite common for like in a CMS to have document types that are just metadata.
Right. I agree with you. I'm just saying that, like, let's say that we were sourcing from a CMS that's just like a document type that's metadata or something like that.
Mm.
If, as a user of Contentlayer, if I want to like parse that into my uh, uh, a particular document type, I kind there this body field right now is sort of like tricky, right? Because it's like, oh, it's a markdown document, so I should have a body available, right? I wonder if we can figure out a way to make the source add those things.
Yeah, I guess if we just add like the pseudo other source, I guess in here you could do like API key or something. And here you just have like question. So, and then you'd have like your Q&As coming from the CMS.
Yeah, I think we'll need to use this a little bit, figure out where like the stuff that might not be clear is. But for me right now, like adding the body as a field feels weird. I feel like maybe there's a way we could get it in as this part of the source if the document support, like, sure, a file system source for certain document types, like imagine you're sourcing from the file system, but you put a document that doesn't support like a body, right? Like I don't
Yeah,
know, an image.
I mean you can always access the raw content. Yeah,
Right.
which will be the raw body. But in this case, this is the process body from the plugin. Uh, I mean, my experience is a bit different. Like, I mostly worked with CMSs, and you always have to add an explicit body field. That's something I'm used to doing, but
Yeah, it's like I think I have like the opposite. It's good that we're both doing this. Like I have the experience of working mostly with like local content sources and where
yeah.
the body is usually given to you by default. Yeah. Like with the Astro one, or even with the existing content layer, uh, uh
Mm-hmm.
with the existing content layer API, the body is given to you by default. At this Disgruntled Dev, we are this is a series of videos that the question was, what's the content layer module useful for? It seems interesting looking at the code. This is a project that we've been sort of working on um longitudinally for a while. We thought it would be fun to take Contentlayer, which is a project that was written by Johannes Schickling. I'll link it in the chat. And is written with Effect, but a much older version of Effect. We thought it would be fun to take this project and update it to like use the latest effect, as well as see if we could make it much more like efficient and faster, parallelize document processing, makes sourcing documents more flexible, make the schema for a given document type more strict, add a lot more type safety, that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're working on. It's not a module. This would actually be like a separate package separate from like the effect core package, but it's not published or anything yet. This is basically just us streaming our development process. Um, anyways, I think we can go with this the way it is for now, Tim.
Yeah.
But if you keep it in mind that it like expanding on like what a source actually is might be useful.
Yeah, I think the good thing about this design is that the source is truly generic and just
Yeah.
provides information to your schema. And then the moment you start enforcing certain fields, then you kind of have to work around that if your source doesn't quite conform to what we expect or all the restrictions we enforce. But if we just power on through,
Yeah, I'd say let's keep going and work on maybe some other features that we're interested in adding.
yeah. One thing I want to do is get rid of the front matter out of this body here. I'm
And
sure it's
this is just
easy to do.
just the remark.
So remark is already passing this front matter, but it leaves it in the body.
If we can't figure this out, remark.
Uh, Maybe if I just console.log this B file, uh, yeah, that's not gonna work. It's annoying that we have like two realms happening. We've got the content layer config realm, and then we've got the CLI realm. So you have to build separately.
Yeah,
So what do we got in here? Current working directory, the front matter passed, and this value. Wonder if we can. Surely you can just get like the stripped body somewhere. Hmm. Remark strip front matter.
there's also. I wonder if you can do something like this. I'll send you a screenshot. I don't know if just getting the tree.
The tree.
The tree?
A function that returns a function. Interesting. So we want to
Yeah, it's basically just
add
like one more
another
use.
dot use, and then three.
I don't know if we literally like just log out the tree and see what we have to work with there.
I'm just wondering if we can run that build in like a watch mode. Build. No, it's doing lots of random things. So it's returning an AST. Oh yeah, maybe if we just strip out the type YAML ones.
Maybe, yeah, that's one option. What was, you said you found a remark strip front matter? Remark
No,
strip.
I was just Googling that, but I didn't find anything obvious. Uh, So how do I return to modified tree? Use returns. Ugh, types in JSDoc just don't really help. Value. Add plugin. So what is this? Unst?
Weird, because
It
which
is called
remark front
UNIST.
matter are we piping it through remark front matter in that plugin? We are, right?
Uh, yeah, remark front matter, and
Can
then
you
remark
remove
pass.
the parsement matter and then just get rid of the tree thingy that we have there for a moment? I know that we're gonna, because I'm just like reading through random stuff.
Yeah.
It seems there. I
Not
read
sure why
something.
the types are failing now, but we'll just roll with that.
Rolling with it.
We can't. Undefined is not assignable to type node. Mm.
Wonder why it gives undefined. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably because they're using JSDoc. So
No, still gets the.
I don't actually know what that plugin is doing. Doesn't pass its own aside them. Maybe it just adds those YAML nodes.
Yeah, try.
So
What if you literally remove all the front matter stuff entirely? I don't think that's gonna work, but
transform callback. Sure. Oh. So it
worked.
doesn't. We don't have that YAML node anymore.
Cool. If you don't want front matter, don't use the front matter thing.
But
Strange.
we haven't got.
Yeah, what is the raw?
So it's just a heading now for some reason.
Interesting.
So it just doesn't pass it correctly. So if you add the front matter thing, then you get a proper tree.
Hmm.
Rehype stringify. Really, any docs here about creating a plugin tree traversal. It's getting stuck on here. Maybe because I'm not calling this callback. Maybe I need to go next with the tree. Era tree. No tree. Undefined tree.
So remark, rehype, I think strips from matter. But
Okay.
it turns it into HTML. See what this plugin is doing.
How do we modify this tree?
I think you basically, in the second function that you return,
Remove.
you can just return, you would return the tree, but you got to do something to remove it, right?
Remove tree leaf. I feel like this is quite a common use case. I think we're missing something.
Well, neither of
Very
us
much
have
right
really
now.
used, neither of us have really used it. Not very much, so.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm. Maybe we're putting stringify in the wrong place.
I like this
Let's
line
see.
of thought. The logic is strong here.
No.
Darn.
Serializing to margin. Remark stringify. Options. email, stringify, remove, run. Yeah.
I mean, we could just
Maybe
edit. We could just edit the tree and filter out the front matter node, I suppose.
yeah. Uh,
Tree traversal. So
remove YAML. And this is going to be unified.plugin. Tree dot type doesn't equal tree.
there is a unist util visit thingy that allows you to visit the nodes of a tree of a particular
Yeah.
type. I'm trying to see like how you actually remove nodes. Unist util filter. Yeah. Okay. You can use this utility to remove things from a tree. This utility is very similar to unist util remove, which changes the given. Modifying a tree like okay, here. We can try this.
I think visit is the low level one.
Yeah, visit is one, but there's a unist util remove one that exposes a remove function, and you can basically um remove all the nodes of a given type. I think in place. I sent it to you.
Mm. Not sure why, but it's giving me a type of never or any. Index, parent, never, never, never. This is great. Um, Why is it doing that?
One more time, Tim. Sorry. I think if we know the name of the type of the node that we need to remove, the plugin, the Unist thingy that I sent you will do the needful. I think.
What's it?
No, you're installing it. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. So we just go remove. YAML.
And then I think you need to put rehype stringify back in the original place because you have to. I'm just looking at like all the usage of it. Everything says like compile, then stringify, then parse, then stringify, then from matter and everything else. I think this stringify is in the
We
wrong
want
place.
to stringify the tree after we've modified it.
Weird because even on remark from matters, like even on their
Hey, that
website.
worked.
Can you try putting stringify at the beginning again? Because even on remark stringify's or sorry, remark front matter's site, they have remark parse, then stringify, then front matter.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
still works.
nice.
Very much. It looks good to me.
So it would be cool now. I don't know, like how much we probably have some time to start digging into this, but what would be really cool? I don't know if this is like the logical next place to go, but we probably want to cache documents, right?
Yeah.
So what might be, I
Um,
don't know if it's like the,
I think we'll do caching after we just get it working. So maybe if we start exporting the content somewhere now.
what is your thought to export to? Like just a,
So somehow once we've built all of the content, we need to write it somewhere. So then you can import it into your project.
so Contentlayer creates like a pseudo package,
Yeah.
like the existing one. I don't know if that's the approach we want to take. We could take a similar approach where we create like a pseudo package and do it that way. Or
Yeah.
what does Astro do? I'm curious. I think Astro does something similar.
I guess alternatively you just write everything into the project itself.
Yeah, you could do that too. It just becomes less it becomes more annoying from a maintenance perspective because then you'd have to like you could just git ignore the generated directory,
Yeah.
right? That is one option. You just emit it into the project and then git ignore the directory.
So content layer is the package.
Whoa. That's a big file. I just opened a file that like from Astro's content layer, and it's so big that it lagged my NeoVim out.
Is it the content.astro one?
No, there's this file called, oh God, I need to get out of this file. Um, there is this file called datastore.json. Yeah, so what Astro does is they generate like a bunch of stuff into a .astro directory, and then they
Yeah.
also have some type gen stuff. I think
Content entry map. What else like on here? Integration settings. I don't see any data thing.
well, I think that might be what the data store is. You have to actually run it to generate the thing. Um, but I wouldn't open it if I were you.
The content layer, it is it a file per thing? Yeah. As
The
in,
file, yeah, there's a file per thing, then there's a cache, but the actual generated one is a file per thing, and I think the generated stuff is all JSON.
yeah, and then it's just a big, then it creates an array from all the exports. Ooh. Okay. So in Astro, if I go to content, install,
Let me
does it
try
just
it.
build?
Build will actually build the project. That might take like 2 or 3 minutes, but that's fine because you're gonna actually need to build the project to see the generated content. I'm building it as well because I'm curious.
And
Actually, I wonder
then
if it's Astro or not.
where do we actually access the content in here?
So because we're using these,
Pages,
it's
I
it's
guess
not
open graph,
not pages. Open
get
graph.
collection.
Yeah, get collection is the method that we use.
And they use declare module. entry.
It is extremely entertaining watching you hit your comma button.
So actually maintain a list of all the entries. Interesting. Oh well. So entries is like a massive union of every single entry.
Yep.
I'm not sure if we want that.
I don't know that we want the like user facing API that they expose, but
And that will actually be impossible for like a CMS where you can't statically access everything.
right. I'm just more interested in like what they're doing to like locally with the content.
Yeah, right. So I think my build is complete. Where is the content? Astro. There's nothing in
It
the
actually
collections.
won't be in the Vercel directory because we're using the Vercel plugin to integrate with.
Okay.
But try looking at like, is there a Vercel directory? Dot Vercel.
No, there's just dot Astro.
It's interesting.
Maybe because
All
I
right.
haven't visited a page yet. I don't know.
No, it's still building.
Oh, the types are generated.
Okay. Mine just finished. Let me see what we've got here. Yeah. So in Vercel, output static. Oh, yeah. Load. Basically, in the Vercel directory, it's all the static HTML.
Right.
See, and what do they do? Do they do anything?
I'm still building hybrid entry points. Hmm. Oh, okay. I'm not sure generating lots of files is a good idea because it hurts performance.
Yeah, I guess we sort of have to settle on if this is even the type of thing we want to do, right? So, like, if we're running all the content and content layer through our processing pipeline,
Mm.
um, do we want to make the content layer even more generic and just let the user decide what to do with the output assets, as well as like the caching behavior down the line? Or do you think that we need to generate like the static?
Uh,
Probably a good idea to generate the static stuff. It's just like for a CMS source, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work in like watch mode, for example.
Maybe just to start with, we just spit out an array and then refactor later.
Works for me. Just an
Or
array.
we just use key value store for now.
I was actually thinking key value store would be useful for the cache as well down the line.
Well, we still need to generate an output that you can consume easily.
Yeah, so I guess spitting out a document is fine, but do you think that so the upside of generating individual files is it becomes easier to modify individual entries, right?
Yeah,
Because otherwise, like to modify, if let's say like a cache gets busted for one document in the collection of documents you're working on, um, if the cache gets busted for like one of those documents and you have everything stored in a single file, then you have to rewrite that whole file instead of just rewriting that one document. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
So right
what if for
now
now,
we are
what
just
if,
logging stuff.
what if for now we do the inefficient thing and use key value store to write out a file per document, and then we can optimize later. Basically, like take the existing content layer approach and generate a file, like a JSON file per.
Yeah. JSON file. So maybe if we have like a document storage. It just needs to be in a format that you can import. So yeah, I guess just JSON files on disk is fine for now.
I mean, we can make it generic as we go, but to get something together where we're actually emitting files.
Yeah. Storage. So, okay. How are we doing for time, by the way?
We're at an hour. I am gonna have
Okay.
to go in like probably 15 minutes. I know we didn't make a ton of progress today. We were sort of just catching up. But maybe we can.
Yeah.
I'll try to make a commitment to not skip any more of these Wednesday sessions.
Let's skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day.
Orange. So we pull in the file system. Okay. So I'm not sure what this will be yet. So we've built a document. We have fields, document output. Maybe if we just define a type of that.
Don't we have a type for that? Isn't that like maybe we don't yet.
Fields. Document. Okay. So
So I
that
guess we're
should be assignable to that. And then in our document storage, you just give it a build document, and then it does something. So I guess you want to namespace it by the document name. So that would be like a subdirectory.
probably want to like generate some sort of slug or unique ID per document, right?
Yeah.
At some point down the line.
Do we already have that?
Maybe in the SOAR.
Do we have an identifier?
I don't think we did that yet.
Okay. Yeah, so we need to add some kind of identifier thing. I feel like that needs to be in source.
Yeah, because the source is gonna have to dictate.
Output.
Is the ID on oh yeah, output. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
For file system, I feel like the path ends up being the ID.
Yeah.
In this case, it's pretty easy. But do we want it to be when we get this path, is it a like absolute path? At some point we probably want to have types for um relative and absolute paths, like branded types for them. But
Yeah.
is this an absolute path that we get, or is this a relative path? Because the ID we probably want to be relative so that it's easily sluggable, right?
Um, so we're doing a glob, which will be
Relative, I assume.
yeah. Oh, well, we're already putting the
Actually,
path in the meta.
yeah, you could you could even just look at our previous logs.
It's relative.
Great.
Relative to the current working directory.
Excellent. That's perfect. That's what I wanted for the ID. And that's actually how like Astro's content layer works as well. And how the
Okay.
current content and how the current iteration of content layer works, I think.
Okay, so we go back to document storage.
Excuse me. Yeah, so
Blog post.
If you log any one of them, there's like an underscore ID property. Oh, you're looking at the name of the file. Sorry.
Yeah, I was looking at the name of the file. So it looks like they're using some kind of generated slug for the ID.
Yeah, there's an ID in here somewhere. Underscore ID. Really? Oh, maybe it's raw.
There it is.
There it is.
So it is the path.
Yep. For the file system source.
Okay, so we just need some function for turning that into a safe file name. I feel like we could maybe just hash it.
Yeah, hash is stable on a document name, on a string rather. Sorry. So
I guess
you
the
could
only problem is doing that in a cross-platform way. I guess if we use subtle crypto, maybe. I recently did some hashing for event log. RG subtle.
event log is super cool, by the way. I was looking at some of the code the other day.
Yeah. I still
Love
need quite a
store.
bit of work to become useful, but it's all my receipts set. It was working pretty well.
Love store, baby.
Love store. Oh yeah, here it is.
What is this? Just a cross-platform hashing method for a string?
We want this one. So it uses the subtle crypto thingy API, which is it works on Node in the browser. And probably works on Bun too. So we need data, which should be unit data array.
Jim, you should be using effect.fn. Come on, man.
We don't need
I'm just
tracing right now.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. So we hash ID. In this case, it will be output ID. Cool. So we've got our file name. I guess the path will be. We need some kind of config for the output directory.
We probably could at some point, but for now we could emit to a static path. Like we could basically just do what's currently being done and make the assumption.
So we grab the path service path dot join. So it will be content layer generated, and then we'll need the document name. then hash ID dot method.
Cool.
I guess we need to make sure that directory exists first. So directory path dot make directory. I need to go force.
I think that
Recursive
recursive.
just does.
I think recursive's enough in this case.
And then we can go. And then we just need to write something to the disk.
So if we want to like just get started testing this, we could do we could the fields and the meta should already be in a format that's.
So in this one, the fields are at the top level, and then meta is like an underscore thingy. And then, oh yeah.
Yeah, but I don't like the structure that Contentlayer is currently using. Like for the actual document
Yeah.
structure, I feel like we might want to rethink this. Like I like the fact that in our output right now, what you see in the command line, I really like that meta is namespaced. I really like that fields are namespaced.
Yeah.
ID can be top level. I think we should emit the ID just because.
Encoded fields. So we just need to get a bit of schema in here.
You never have too much schema.
Schema.encode. None. Fields and output. Document dot fields, which is the schema. Fields. Encoded fields. Yield it.
Don't we already have the encoded fields in the output? Or do we have the decode?
We have the decoded fields at this point.
Right. Okay.
But on the output, we do have fields, which is the raw fields. But that could have lots of random stuff on it.
Do we want to parse JSON here? So we have already a stringified JSON, blah, blah, blah. Or are we just going to do that in the right file string?
I guess it depends if we want to add other stuff to this.
I think we need to. I think
Okay.
we want probably like, we probably want like the ID in there.
So maybe we just define a schema for it. We can just call it persisted document, and it will have some kind of generic, and then it will take a field schema.
Forgive me, but in the document file, do we already have a persisted type?
Well,
I want to
no.
know if we. Okay. I think at some point we had something like Mike and I might have had something in here like to that effect, but anyways, ignore me. Sorry.
And this will have A, I, uh, and then I'll return a schema.struct of ID fields. Anything on meta, which would be schema.record of string to unknown. Oops, what did I do? Persisted. So this is created from the fields. If I guess the schema could just be schema.fastJSON too.
Yep.
And then here we have ID,
And here we actually could just encode,
fields,
right?
meta.
You
Yeah.
can encode an unknown. Cool.
Maybe if I just so here we should have a string. Just a minute. Oops. Yeah, that's right. Pretty much. We'll just hook this up and then call it there, I think. Oh, system path. So in document builder, let's access the storage. And then in this run for each, we can just go storage start. And you kind of want to do that concurrently. So we go, yeah, perfect. And go stream dot run brain. So now I make it's a type of unknown. Why is that one unknown? Why is our requirement unknown?
That is the question.
Because our effect is unknown. Because write is unknown in it. Okay. I'm guessing that's because encode is using a schema that could have requirements. Are we allowing schema requirements in here? Are we?
I don't remember what I did.
Are we just preserving the schema types? So yes. At some point we're going to have to fix that or work out what we're going to do about schema context. But for now,
We'll probably just have to fix
pretend.
the art. Probably just have to fix the art and never uh, in the for the config. We'll
Yeah,
probably
for
just have
now.
because otherwise it's impossible.
Yeah.
Or die.
No, we can let the path zero come through.
Won't there also be a platform error here?
Yeah. We can deal with that at another time. Error building documents. All right, let's look at our type now. That looks good.
Nice.
So here's our layer.
You can quickly refactor this to effect on service if you'd like.
Maybe another day.
Maybe another day.
So live here needs build options and then context from platform. I feel like I'm already using node file system somewhere. Yeah. Okay. I think we've already locked ourselves into Node at the moment because of the usage of some Node modules for
Yeah,
compiling
we locked
the
ourselves
source
in the
code.
node because of the whole for the virtualization of imports.
Yeah. I think
Although
that will work on Bun regardless, but
I think a lot of tools that do watching just sort of ignore that memory leak. I read something recently like that even like the TypeScript file watcher, I think, will eventually run out of memory.
all right, first try.
If it compiles, it works, Tim.
It's not outputting anything, so
Well, that's
who
good. That
knows?
means that 'cause we didn't
We
we took
didn't
our log.
do, yeah, we took our logs away. Generated post. Hey,
Hey,
first
first
try.
try. Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
If it compiles, it works.
Uh, maybe we can make a quick tweak where it does nice looking JSON. And I think
Does parts JSON support that?
it does.
Man, Julio thought of everything. Unless that was you.
That was Julia. Um, space. Hey, there we go.
Nice. Very pretty.
Righty, field submitted. You're right.
Yeah, I feel pretty good
Let's
about this. Feel pretty good
commit
about
all
this.
that stuff.
I think this is a great start.
Output content.
I think that requirements will be dictated through usage.
We're not using visit anymore, so probably get rid of that.
I also think maybe next time we'll be able to like start working on some of the other like stuff related to this, like some of the other
Yeah, so we
subsystems.
still need to generate like the actual modules.
We need to generate the modules. We need to generate type definitions.
Yeah,
A while back, I had a little schema to TypeScript thingy that
yeah.
worked like sort of reasonably well. It was based on one Julio wrote a while ago that was broken forever because he had modified the AST so much. But maybe we could resurrect that.
Um, I am. So walking the AST and generating TypeScript types.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I am.
It worked reasonably well back when I wrote it originally, but I don't know where it is. I have to go look for it. Might be in a scratch pad somewhere.
I've done quite a lot of AST walking recently with HTTP API and all that.
Very nice. All right, cool. Well, thank you everybody who is watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And like Tim and I said, we'll try to be a little more regular with these streams. Yeah, until next time. Cheers, folks.
All right. See ya.